Turning now to the situation in the Middle East, where Israel and the Hezbollah militant group are keeping up their cross-border attacks this morning. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in New York, and he's set to address the UN General Assembly this morning. Yesterday, Netanyahu vowed his forces will keep hitting Hezbollah with, quote, full force, despite international calls for an immediate ceasefire. The escalation in violence has seen hundreds of people killed in Lebanon this week. That's according to the country's health ministry. So following the latest for us from Tel Aviv is CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay. Chris, always good seeing you. First off, let's just get an update on what is happening there. What's the latest on the ground?
Hey, Anne-Marie, well, those escalations continue. As you mentioned, hundreds killed, 1,000 wounded on the Lebanese side of the border. But we all got a wake-up call last night here in Tel Aviv, a reminder that this is a multi-front war for Israel. In the middle of the night, we were woken to the sound of sirens and booms and rushed into a bunker. That's because Israel says they shot down, deflected a missile that was fired straight at Tel Aviv. That's Israel's most populated city by the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. There were no reports of any injuries, and that's the second time the Houthis have launched a missile directly at Tel Aviv in this month alone. Earlier this summer, they launched a drone at Tel Aviv. That killed one person. Israel responded with a deadly airstrike on a port in Yemen. It's to be seen now how Israel is going to respond to this latest attack. And as I mentioned, just a reminder that this is a multi-front war.
Yeah, it's a really important reminder because we can talk about de-escalation between, say, Israel and Hamas, or Israel and Hezbollah. But if another group is getting involved, how can you even manage the concept of de-escalation? So that brings me to, what seemed to be a percolating ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel. Do we have any information about that?
So there was a proposal that came up on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly earlier this week, put forward by the United States and France, and there was some optimism that Israel was going to go along with it. It would have seen a pause in the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah for several weeks. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has shot that down, saying that they're only going to continue with the fighting. The military in Israel is speaking openly about a possible ground invasion, and there's clearly some frustration coming out of the White House in response. White House National Security Council spokesman Josh Kirby said that they would have never even put this deal forward if they didn't believe that Israel was going to go along with it. So clearly some frustration, also fears that this conflict with Hezbollah could escalate and spiral out of control. Anne-Marie?
Of course, Chris. Thank you very much.